welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited to have you here with me today again. For today's makeup look, I am going to do a modern cat eye look. This is a look that it's been very trending at the moment, and it's also been seen in the fashion industry a lot, where it's like this super pulled back cat eye look, but it's almost like a negative space in the center, kind of giving your eyes like a very sultry and dimensional look. This look is very inspired by Patrick Starr's work on Joan Small, Puertorican Super Model, which I'm obsessed with. And they did like this beautiful pulled back wing liner, but leaving the center a little bit more open with like a very shimmery eyelid that blends almost to the brow bone. I'm going to recreate something like this, but definitely with my own take. So let me go ahead and zoom you guys in so we can start with this beautiful eye look. First thing I'm gonna do is prime my eyes with a clear primer. I'm using the 24-hour primer by MAC. Now I'm going to ever so slightly even out my skin tone on my eyes with the Juvia's Place Concealer in number 18. Now using MAC's Pro Longwear Paint Pot in Current Affair, this is a beautiful burgundy shade. I just want like a base to build up the shadow on top. So I'm going to start in my inner corner, kind of going up until the middle of my eyelid. Now for the outer corners, you want to look straight forward and kind of stamp the brush right at the corner of your lashes. And just kind of drag it up, but going more towards the temple instead of going straight up. So when you look forward, you want to make sure your line kind of connects straight forward to here. You don't want any lower swoops. You want to make sure you keep this very straightforward. So what I'm doing for that is that I'm relaxing my face as much as possible, like my forehead. And I'm looking forward and filling in this part right here just to make it more straightforward. Once we have this shape, I'm going ahead and start blending the corners of this line right here with a small fluffy blending brush. You're going to really take your time to blend this product in. This is just the base of the shadow, so don't worry too much about making it perfectly blended. Don't be afraid to blend it really far out, because once we clean the bottom, we're gonna have like that perfect diffusion from the liner to your temples. Now for the inner corner one, I'm just going to blend this part right here towards the middle. So once we got that all blended and looking exactly how we want to make sure we set this in place and we start working the shadow into it. So I'm taking the Mothership 5 by Pat McGrath. I'm going to be using the shade Disobedient as my darker shade, and then blending it out with Entrampment, which is a little bit of a more neutral brown tone. This one has more reddish undertones, but definitely having the red base will bring those burgundy tones more to life. So I'm first just stamping it on, and then I'll work my way around it. I just want to make sure I get the pigment first, that way it's a full coverage shadow. Now let's go with the inner corner. For this, I'm just stamping it right on top of where I placed the gel. Now taking a smaller brush and the shade, now taking a smaller blending brush and using the shade and now to blend the edges, I'm going to be using the shade Entrapment, just so I can get like a very diffuse corners right here. You don't want to just grab a lot of product and just put it right there, because this is a blending area. And for that, you want to make sure you work in layers, but very light layers. Now using the same shade with the same brush, I'm going to be diffusing this color right here in the center, just so I have a better diffusion when I later go on with the shimmer. Just be very careful to not blend this line that we created earlier. Now I'm going ahead and deepen out the outer and inner corner with Extreme Out Virgin Shadow, which is this one right here. I just grabbed a little bit and kind of tapped the edges, like on the outer corner and the inner corner, and also clean off a little bit more of that inner portion that we designed earlier, just to really give us that super strong contrast and also bring back like those plummy burgundy shades as well. So once we're happy with the contrast of the shadow, I'm going ahead and kind of revive the inner portion just to like brighten it up again. For that, I'm taking the Soft Ochre Paint Pot by MAC just to give like a sticky base. That way when we put the shadow, it really brightens everything up and looks really gorgeous. So once we brighten that up, now we can go with our Rose Gold 005. It's this gorgeous metallic shade right here in the top. It has a lot of duochrome fine micro shimmers in it that is going to work really well with the tones that we have on our eye. So I'm grabbing that on a big concealer brush like this one, and once I have it in the brush, I go ahead and spray the brush with a Fix Plus, and then we can start tapping it in. I'm actually going to take a little bit in my middle finger and just press it on. To be honest, sometimes this is the best way to apply shimmers. So as I turn, you guys can see how this kind of blends up without just staying like sharp. That's exactly what gives you like that super pulled up look. And then once we highlight, we just kind of connect that same shimmer to the highlight on the brow bone. And that just gives you like that very glossy eye look that we all love. For my brow bone, I'm going to be using Skin Show Divine Glow. This is like very pearlescent yellow tone vanilla color, and it's gonna go perfectly on my brow bone, including these stones that we have already. Taking the Jeffree Star Cosmetic liquid liner, I'm going to define my lash line very small. Mind you, I'm going to be doing the smallest amount, something very small and close to my lash line. So once we have that liner on, I'm going ahead and clean the edges of my eyeshadow. Repeat the same on the other eye so we can start on the skin. Alright guys, so once both eyes all complete, I'm going ahead and take the Too Faced Plump and Prime primer. This is a illuminating primer that gives your skin like a very juicy and like blurred look. For foundation, I'm going with Face and Body by MAC in the shade C2. I'm applying this all over with a Painted.co beauty sponge. Once we have the foundation all in place and blended, I'm going to take the Juvia's Place concealer in the shade 12 just to give some contrast and color back to my face. Using the same concealer in the shade 18, I'm going to be concealing my lighter areas. And then to further brighten, I'm using the shade 24 just to clean the edge of my shadow and also give me a good pop of highlight. Now taking Mineralized Skin Finish by MAC in Medium Plus, I am going to be setting my entire face in place. That way we can lock all these products together. And this step just really marries all the colors together of your face. That way they look very diffuse and everything looks very blended and even as well. To give back some color to my skin, I'm going to use a Totally Topless Radiant Matte Bronzer by MAC. This is a taupey kind of cool tone bronzer. That way it emphasizes the warmth of my face but also structures my cheekbones as well and also my hairline. And I really love this bronzer because it actually has a little bit of a glow to it. So when you apply it to your cheekbones or to like your jawline, forehead and everything, it doesn't look very heavy. It just kind of marries to your skin natural radiance really well. So it tricks the eye on like being there but not really being there. It's actually really nice. Now for the nose, I'm going to do a very small amount. So starting right on the tip, kind of rounding out the tip and then making like a little ball at the tip, kind of bringing it inwards like that. Just so it starts giving definition back to the nose, because we almost fully lost it thanks to the concealer and everything. And now those two lines, just gonna bring it all the way up. without any more product, just using what's left on the brush. For blush, I'm taking the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Divine Blush in the shade Nymphet. This is a rose gold with a small amount of shimmer. As you guys can see, this just gives my skin a beautiful, beautiful glow without it being too chunky or too shimmery. So for highlight, I don't have to do too much because I already have a little bit of sheen in my blush. And this color is actually the one that everyone's like obsessing over with, which is like that bubbly pink. But this one has more of a rose gold base, so it kind of marries it more to your natural undertones. Since I'm very yellow, that golden undertone mixes with my skin tone really, really well, while still giving me like that icy, flushy look. I just really, really, really love how this one is looking on my skin. It's the first time trying it, so I'm very excited. It's actually a really gorgeous color. Now, before I continue with my skin, I am actually going to work on my under eye. That way I can blend it out, put the highlight, and set the skin in place. So for that, I am going to use the Permagel Ultra Glide Eye Pencil by Pat McGrath in the color Black Coffee. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous brown. I feel like it's gonna work really, really well with the undertones of this shadow. I'm also using the liner to kind of connect the inner tear duct that we did for the top part. That way it looks more cleaner and precise as well. Now going back with the Pat McGrath palette, taking that mid-tone brown that we used earlier for the eyeshadow, and just stamp it really, really close to the lash line. Now with the lightest brown, I'm going to take a more fluffier flat top brush and then just blend the edges of that one. And a really good trick to make your eyeshadow look more sharp and defined, but also to lift your cheekbone a little bit more, is to take a lighter powder. I'm using the NW25 by MAC. This is Studio Fix powder. Take a flat top brush like this one, and before you even set your skin or put any highlighter, you kind of resharpen from the bottom of the lash line towards the corner of your shadow. And this just gives more of a lifted and also cleaner appearance to the shadow. Just kind of finalizes the look, making it look way more sharper and better. Alright, now let me go ahead and set my skin in place using the Fix Plus Coconut by MAC. Using the Sublime Skin Highlighter Trio by Pat McGrath, I'm going to take the shade Fine Gold. Is this one in the middle right here? It has a little bit of a yellowish gold undertone, so I feel like it's gonna diffuse into my blush really, really well. For my brows, I want to keep them very, very natural, so I'm only going to brush a little bit of clear brow gel. This is the one by MAC. What I like to do is just brush them up and out, just to kind of take away any excess product that might have fallen in them, and also to style them, that way they look a little bit more clean. Now for mascara, I'm going to use the Pat McGrath Fetish Eye Mascara in Extreme Black. And today I don't want to apply any lashes because I feel like if I do lashes with a makeup look like this, it just kind of hides everything too much. So I want you to still be able to see my eyeshadow and everything. So now for lips, I'm going to be using Cork Lip Pencil by MAC just to define my lips. Once we have that applied, I'm going to use Penelope Pink by Charlotte Tilbury. I've never used this color before, but I've always been wanting to use it in a look, and I feel like for this type of tones, this will be absolutely gorgeous. I don't even know if this is matte or glossy, but I just feel like the color is gonna work really, really well. So I'm actually going to kill away a little bit of the shine on the lip. So for that, I'm going to be using the same Mineralized Skin Finish powder that I use my face, just so it's everything in the same tone family. And just lightly tap in. Just because I feel like it's a little too much gloss going on, and I just want the gloss to be on the eye. Alright guys, and that concludes this makeup tutorial for today. I'm very proud of how everything turned out. I am obsessed with this eye shape and like the shimmer and everything. I feel like everything worked out really well, more than what I thought actually. I want to give a quick shout out to Pat McGrath. This is the Mothership Bronze Seduction Palette by Pat McGrath. Absolutely gorgeous. And also a quick thank you to Patrick Tuff for inspiring this look right here. This is very modern, like a new take on a smoky eye, but keeping it very classy and also very like dramatic at the same time. If you guys like this video just as much as I do, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.